Hi, welcome to my new video for beginners. Today we are going to learn how to draw a classroom in one-point perspective. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. I draw a horizontal line right down the middle of the paper. This line is the horizon line. Then I put a point right in the middle of the line. This point is the vanishing point we will use in our drawing. Okay, when drawing this class, I suggest drawing the desks first. You will soon see how much easier this makes your work. So let's start drawing the desks. First, I need to draw the top of the desks. To do this, I will draw 6 straight lines starting from the vanishing point. If you are struggling to draw straight lines, try using a ruler. As you know, there are many objects in a classroom. You might not know which one to start with. Here, I will try to show you the easiest order to draw objects in a classroom. Obviously, the most important thing for us is perspective. So, I will make sure I explain how to use the vanishing point properly. Okay, I have finished the lines. These lines define the right and left boundaries of the desks I will draw one after another. I will put the desks in the colored sections. Both sides are the same width. The widths of these two spaces are also the same. You can adjust all of these widths by measuring them with a ruler along the bottom edge of the paper. Now let's use horizontal lines to divide these areas up. These horizontal lines are going to be the long edges of the desks. This is where the most important rule of perspective comes into play. Objects appear smaller as they move further away from us. Therefore, the width of each desk and the distance between them should get smaller as they move further away from us. The most important step in this drawing is placing the desks. This requires a few simple calculations. This may be the most challenging part for you. But don't worry, once you have done this, putting the other objects in the classroom structure together is a piece of cake. Okay. We've roughly placed the desks. Now it's time for the chairs. Again, I will draw straight lines starting from the vanishing point and put the chairs between these lines. When you are doing any kind of drawing, it is a good idea to lightly sketch the lines at the start and then go over them again at the end to darken them. This makes it easier to correct any mistakes you make. This drawing requires a bit of concentration. Trying to get the desks and chairs to match up with the others is a bit of a pain. But I can say with confidence that if you manage this drawing, you are pretty much a pro at one-point perspective. Don't forget to align the chairs with both the ones in front and the ones on the sides. Yeah, in the real world, it is impossible to expect them to be perfectly aligned. But when our drawing subject is perspective, everything needs to be done correctly. I know I am taking up your time. I am trying to get this done as quickly as I can. I am short on time, so my lines might be a little messy. I am sure you can do these with much smoother lines and greater accuracy. The idea with this video is not to show you how to draw beautiful lines, but to show you how to use perspective and how and in what order to place composition in your drawing. If I can do that, I will have reached my goal. Great! We have finally finished the hardest part. All the desks are where they should be. Now we just need to add some details to the desks and make them more three-dimensional. Let's make the tops of the desks a bit thicker. Then we can just add a few short lines to finish off the legs of the desks. Just remember to use the vanishing point at every stage of your drawing. If you don't, you are likely to make mistakes. And if you don't realize you have made a mistake, all the hard work and time you put in will ultimately result in a poor-looking piece of work. I am sure you will find this frustrating, right? When you are drawing, don't spend too much time focusing on the details of objects that are far away. This is because minor mistakes or overlooked details are tolerable. Also, they don't get much attention. Just make sure they don't look too weird. Try to focus on the details of the closest objects and the ones that take up more space on the paper. Let's quickly draw a teacher's desk just in front of the other desks with a few strokes. Of course, with the help of the vanishing point. Okay, the hardest part is now completely over. It was a bit tiring and laborious, right? Now we are going to start working on the structural components of the classroom. We should start with the wall directly opposite. That is the simplest way. First, I draw a rectangle. Then I draw lines starting from the vanishing point and passing through the top corners of this rectangle. That's it. We have quickly finished both the ceiling and the walls with just a few strokes. Now it is time to start on the window. I start with a vertical line. Then I draw lines that pass through the top and bottom endpoints of this line. Okay, let's make this window more three-dimensional. It is a simple process. Let's see how I do it. Okay, let's add a frame to make the window more detailed. You can choose the size and shape of the window and the frame. You can make it however you like. Okay, let's draw the door. The logic here is the same as for the window. Again, draw a vertical line and use the vanishing point. The ceiling needs some detailing. I am thinking of drawing a suspended ceiling. It is quite simple to draw. All we need to do is divide the ceiling into sections using straight lines. As always, don't forget to use vanishing point. Using a ruler is best for drawing areas like this. This is because these areas are flat and smooth. To achieve this effect, the lines must be drawn very neatly. I won't go into detail about lighting. You can add light to these small sections however you like. Let's add a board to make this look like a real classroom. It doesn't matter whether it is a whiteboard or a smartboard. Put whichever one you prefer. But whenever I think of a classroom, I always picture a blackboard. Oops, oh no, my age has been revealed. You can add items such as flag, map, computer, bookcase clock, or curtains to the classroom. However, you should be aware that each of these will require time and effort. Here, I have shown you the easiest way possible to draw a simple classroom. The level of detail is up to you. Working with one-point perspective is very easy because the rules are simple. Start by drawing the horizon line. Just choose one vanishing point on the horizon line and connect all the objects to it. Draw all the horizontal lines parallel to the top and bottom edges of the paper and draw all the vertical lines parallel to the right and left edges of the paper. And never forget that objects should appear smaller as they move further away from you. Okay guys, we are nearly done with the drawing. I hope this video has been helpful to you in many ways. My channel is full of videos about perspective. It would be great if you subscribe to my channel to show your support. See you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.